Welcome to the II Preview Show with me, Davey B and Doncaster. We're going to be previewing this evening's card at Donny Dogs live on RPG TV. Let's get into the action. Race 1 is an A4 over 483 metres, Mysterious Marne in 1, Bandicoot Ella in 2, All Bound Up in 3, Blainmore Chiara in 4, Old Fort Zipper in 5, and in 6, Mingler's Priory. Doncaster, what do you fancy?
I thought this was a tricky race. I have the 2 leading the 1. They're both railers. In turn, I'd struggle to see the sort of the 1 getting a run after the 2 leads it. The 3's got a peach of a draw. It's got no pace in 4 and the 2 heading to the rails. I actually only have the 3 about an 11-4 shot. I couldn't have the 4 at all. It showed nothing last week. The 5 has a little bit of a trappy draw to overcome, with the 6 cutting down on it ever so slightly. But I am going to side with Old Fort Zipper. I thought it showed a lot more than the 1 and the 4 last week. And I do think he can hold the 6 to the corner, and if he does, he'd be a massive player. So yeah, I would be with Zipper, but again, it wouldn't be a race that I'd be mad keen on playing. But the 3 has got a really nice makeup as well. So, but yeah, Old Fort Zipper for me.
So Doncaster's selection in race 1 is trap 5, Old Fort Zipper. Race 2 is an A3 over 483 metres, Fein Sissy Sir in 1, Setanta in 2, Lutton's Kyle in 3, Mohort Rosa in 4, Droopy's Intent in 5, and in 6, only 1. Doncaster, what do you fancy?
I am with only 1. The 5 is completely paceless. The 4's not really got enough pace. The 2's going to lead the inside. That's the only issue. But I do think the 6 will actually lead the 2 and have the right dog behind it. The 2 was chinned when it was on the skin last week. The 6 doesn't stay the strongest. It was running over 450 metres, but it was in season at the time. It's bang out now. The 30-50 trial would probably be good enough. So, yeah, I have the 6 getting on the skin and making all.
So Doncaster's selection in race 2 is trap 6, only 1. Race 3 is an A2 over 483 metres, Millcroft Magic in 1, Coonuff Des in 2, Bring It On Buddy in 3, Rosmalt Logan in 4, Port Hall Abbey in 5, and in 6, Destiny's Child. Doncaster, what do you fancy?
I've sided with Rosemont Logan here. There's no real pace in 1, 2, and 3. Bring It On Buddy's been running really well, to be fair. Like, he's sort of becoming a 30-10 dog consistently week in, week out. Logan's going to lead everything inside it. It's going to hold the 5 to the corner, and the 6 just runs so wide at the bends that I think that Logan will just sneak up the inside and get round. Destiny's Child's probably one of the fastest to the corner on the track, but she just gives lengths away on the bend. She's just running, sort of 4, 5, 6 dogs deep at the bend. She don't cut them at all. Port Hall Abbey would be interesting as well, stepping up to 483. It looks like a bitch who's been sort of crying out to step up. But here I think she's sort of a bit boxed up with the 4 and 6 having plenty of pace. So yeah, I'd go with Logan in trap 4 here. But I'd be scared of the 3 sort of running on late.
So Doncaster's selection in race 3 is the Alex Hopkins trained Rosmalt Logan. Race 4 is a D2 over 275 metres, Glashidi Rock in 1, Courtloo Betty in 2, Coldtown Becker in 3, Molly's Man in 4, Springwood Diaz in 5, and in 6, Eden Regal. Doncaster, what do you fancy?
I have picked Springwood Diaz. I thought this was a bit of a downgrade for it. Running pretty much the top heat last time. The 3 is going to search for the rails. The 4 is not really a sprinter; it's more of a chasing type. I mean, the 5's not got like electric early, but I think it's got enough to clear the 4 and the 6. And the 1, 2, 3 could be in a bit of a mess. The last time the 1 and 2 raced against each other, they did each other. The 3 is going to cut down as well, like I say, and yeah, I think the 5's got enough to lead out wide and probably win there. The 6 didn't show me anything last week. So yeah, I'd be with Springwood Diaz. I think it's one of the better bets on the card. I'd probably make this my next best.
So Doggesser's selection for race 4 is trap 5, Springwood Diaz, and that's his next best. Race 5 is a B7 over 450 metres. Nettie's Turbo in 1, Moss Bonnet in 2, Fancy a Flutter in 3, Fane Mozart in 4, Lutton's Jessie in 5, and in 6, Jaguar Blackie. Doggesser, what do you fancy?
Again, I thought this was a tricky race. The 2 and the 3 ran against each other last week, and the 6 as well. The 2 came out on top, but the 3 actually cleared the 2 to the corner. It just looked like there was something going on just off the second bend where I think the legs were sort of being clipped, or the 3 just never quite got away from them. But that's the most the 3's shown for absolutely ages. I wouldn't be strong enough to put it up as a selection, but I think it showed a little bit more. The 1 beat the 5 in a trial. The 5's going to lead out wide. The 1's got a lot of comments on the card that suggested it's still going to be quite green. A lot of hit rails, missed breaks, and just things like that. But it looks like it has been crying out to get on the rail. It wouldn't have to be much to beat these, to be honest. It's probably going to have to be a 29-20 dog. They've given it every chance, so I'd take a chance with Nettie's Turbo. It's probably going to be short enough, to be honest, but if I was going to pick one, I think that'd be the one I'd have to pick, just because it just wouldn't have to find anything, or it wouldn't have to be anything decent to be really beating these.
So Doggesser's selection in race 5 is trap 1, Nettie's Turbo. Race 6 is a B5 over 450 metres. Neve Smags in 1, Alwyn's Robin in 2, Holt Mill Tigger in 3, Wanted Stacey in 4, Bellagio Boss in 5, and in 6, Incredible V. Doggesser, what do you fancy?
I've sided with Alwyn's Robin. The 1 has a bit of a tendency to sort of come up with the lids a little bit, but it has got a little bit of pace up, especially in this grade. But the 2's got, plenty of early pace to the corner, and I think it'll get a chance to show it here. The last couple of runs it's been a little bit boxed up. The 3 is going to step off ever so slightly from the 3 box. Bellagio Boss is a dog that I can't really have because he's been cramping really bad as well. If he was sort of back to his best form, he'd have half a chance, but I just couldn't have him. The 6 has beat the 1 the both times that they've run. It won't lead the 1, and it's going to be probably behind the 2, the 1, and probably the 3 and the 4 as well. The 4 is interesting. Alex tends to grade him very well. She has a lot of winners on debut and seems to be treated quite well. It's got a mark on its card at Furls of 1874, and I know the grading's about 1910. So the first mark on its card's well within grading. The trials at Doncaster are, quite respectable, but I think it might improve a little bit from the trials. But again, it's got a bit of a trappy draw to sort of contest with. But yeah, I'd be with Alwyn's Robin in trap 2.
So Doggesser's selection in race 6 is trap 2, Alwyn's Robin. Moving on to race 7, that's a B3 over 450 metres. Beach Hill Lou in 1, Not a Vegan in 2, Bellagio Beauty in 3, Molly Coddler in 4, Ryu Archer in 5, and in 6, Bungee. Doggesser, what do you fancy?
I am with Rui Archie, and it's going to be my next best. Sorry, my nap, even. The insides look a mess. Bellagio Beauty, I've always had her down as a bitch that probably wants away from the 1. She moves off a little bit from 1. But her last couple of runs, she's been bang rails. I think she's got to move in from the 3 box, which in turn gives the 4, 5, and 6 sort of space. The last time the 4 and the 5 met, the 5 cleared the 4 very, very comfortably. The 6 is not running great for me, so I just think the 5 here will lead round and probably have the 1 or the 2 on its case, but the insides are going to be a bit of a mess. So yeah, I'd be with Rui Arch. I think it's got a really good makeup here.
So Doggesser's selection for race 7 is trap 5, Ryu Archie. Race 8 is a D4 over 275 metres. Redbrick Maddie in 1. Got a Pick Zig in 2. Bolt Up Bella in 3. Lutton's Dawn in 4. Pat's My Girl in 5. And in 6, Time Limit. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I've sided with Pat's My Girl. Really, all the form suggests that she's got the 1, 2, 3 and the 4 beat. The 6 has got a really weird head carriage. Something I can't really explain. It just doesn't seem to be chasing at times almost. Very strange sort of dog. But it has got pace when it does crack on with it. Yeah, I'd be with the 5. Like I say, it's a poor sprint, but the 5's sort of got the more solid form of all of these. Again, it's probably going to be short enough. I wouldn't really want to be playing at short odds. It's not a dog I'd like to bet at short odds, but it'd be the most solid form in the race.
So Dog guesser's selection for race 8 is trap 5, Pat's My Girl. Race 9 is a B3 over 450 metres. Easy Allen in 1, Fiame Bjork in 2, Rio Darcy in 3, George in 4, Slaneyside Tora in 5, and in 6, Marfield Sophie. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I am with Rui Darcy. It beat Fiame Bjork and George last week convincingly. It actually led George as well. The 1's going to lead the inside. The 3 will probably get first crack at Easy Allen, who doesn't really stay. So yeah, that'd be my reasoning for Rui Darcy. But the 5 would be a bit of a danger as well if it could lead the 6 wide and get sort of set its sights on them. But the 3 looks plenty strong enough, and I just think it'll turn second dog to Easy Allen and pick it off.
So Dog guesser's selection for race 9 is trap 3, Rio Darcy. Race 10 is a B2 over 450 metres. Palantine Michael in 1, Glaze Babe in 2, Rafferty in 3, Be My Guest in 4, Cantor Glass in 5, and Barntick Jacket in 6. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I've ended up with Palatine Michael. I think he'll get first crack at Barntick Jackie, who I think is one of the fastest dogs to the corner on the track. Cantor Glass is a dog that has to lead, and it won't lead, so I can rule that out. The 3 and the 4, I just don't see how they get runs. And the 3 was beaten by the 1 last time they met. The 2 actually beat the 1 the last time they met, but the 1 looks like he got his legs clipped a little bit and he held the 2 to the corner. So I think that the 6 will lead. The 1 will follow it round in the slipstream, and I think the 1 will just pick off the 6.
So Dog guesser's selection in race 10 is trap 1, Palatine Michael. Race 11 is a B2 over 450 metres. Floral Print in 1, Painted Clouds in 2, Haven Boxer in 3, Head It On Lenny in 4, In the Pause in 5, and in 6, Charlie's Esque. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
I ended up with Charlie's Esque. I don't think he necessarily wants the 6, but the 1, 2, and the 3 are going to be in a bit of a mess here. The 1 and the 2 did each other last week. I think the 2's graded in very, very harshly, to be honest. The 5's going to cut down a little bit, so that could be a problem for the 4, and there's a lot of pace inside it as well. And I just think the 6 can do sort of his own thing out wide and just sort of plod along. It looks a really strong dog. It sort of improved the last couple of runs, and I thought it run really well last week in a very fast timed race 1. So yeah, I'd be with Charlie's Esque, just purely on the draw, really. It's probably a dog that'll frame up rather than actually win, but yeah, I think it'll get a clear. It's the only one I can really make a case for getting a proper run in the race.
So Dog guesser's selection in race 11 is trap 6, Charlie's Esque. The final race is a D3 over 275 metres. Carriel Tiger in 1, He's For Real in 2, Lutton's Archer in 3, Mudross Abbey in 4, Barnfield Quest in 5, and Moss Code in 6. Dog guesser, what do you fancy?
The five's a penalty kick. I'm not the reason I didn't nap it or anything because it was sort of 5-4 in the post, and it's no good me napping 5-4 shots. The one's got a really good makeup, but the five raced against the 2, 3, and the 4 last week. It's completely different speed. It went down sort of a short head to Dominica. Dominica in here would be probably 2s on. I have Barnfield Quest about 4-6. Moscode just can't go with the 5, and then when he doesn't get to the bend in front, he just doesn't want to know, and he doesn't really run the bend. So yeah, I think Barnfield Quest different speed, and I think it's a winner. But again, it'll be short enough. So by the time this goes out tomorrow, Barnfield Quest might be a 4-6 2s on chance because it is just an absolute thrown-in job.
So Doggesser's selection for race 12 is trap 5, Barnfield Quest. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you click that subscribe button.